realistic is this, Jake? Because people think it's unrealistic. Is it realistic, those conversations about you and AJ?
It's not even about it being realistic or not. Like, it's going to happen. Fasten your seatbelts or whatever. And when I knock him out, I go down in the history books forever.
So it hasn't even been over a month since Jake Paul beat Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., who I think got deported by ICE, I'm not sure. And he is already causing chaos in boxing, and I don't get this one at all. You know, it's one thing to fight a 60-year-old Mike Tyson, a coked out 40-year-old Chavez. He's since sober. And I don't know if you guys remember this, but a couple months ago on his podcast, I think the guest was David Benavidez, he had made an official call out to Anthony Joshua, the former two-time heavyweight champion from Britain. We all know who he is. And obviously at the time people are making jokes saying he's not serious. He's just using this as a way to promote his fight versus Chavez Jr. But nah, it's getting serious. And when I say that, I mean both teams are literally talking as we speak to get a deal done. What happened the last 2 weeks? We had Jake and Turkey meet up when they supposedly had this long-running beef, and they settled it. And then you had Turkey on an interview talking about,
I want to tell you example and surprise. I am thinking me and him to doing him against Joshua now. Joshua, if he destroy him, it will be good for me. The headache of Jack Paul will go from my mind. If Jack Paul win, I will know that Joshua is finished, and Jack Paul deserve to be ranking and deserve to have future in boxing, right?
more than happy to put it on. And who's Joshua's promoter? Eddie Hearn, who signed with Matchroom, which is partnered with now Riyadh Season, who is run by Turkey. And in a recent interview, Eddie Hearn's making it sound like they're already in talks. This was 2 weeks ago.
It sounds like AJ's going to fight Jake Paul. If they truly want that fight, you know, I reached out to Nikisa earlier. We're going to have a chat next week. If you want to do the biggest numbers in the sport, we'll make it happen. But please, I just want to be careful what you wish for. This ain't a game. This ain't a YouTube video. This ain't numbers. This isn't algorithms. This is physically dangerous. So if you want to do it, be careful, but we will do it.
As well as the media throughout fight week for Usyk and Dubois, as if the story was planted and given to them for them to ask people about it. They asked people like Tyson Fury, John Fury, and it just begs the question, like, is a deal already done? And if that's true, then there's really only one question, and that's how does this fight go? And there should be no other answer other than Joshua starching him in a round. Jake Paul is not a natural heavyweight. He couldn't even hurt a 60-year-old Mike Tyson. And as much as people like to say he didn't try against Mike, dude, first 5 rounds, you could tell he was trying. And even if you want to give that fight the pass, okay, we can. He couldn't knock out Nate Diaz, Anderson Silva, Chavez Jr., who was coming up from middleweight, who didn't even look like he was fazed by Jake's power. Jake couldn't knock any of these guys out, yet he's gonna knock out Anthony Joshua, which, who did Joshua just knock out? Francis Ngannou. Look at this side-by-side photo of Jake standing next to Ngannou. Joshua is bigger than Ngannou and knocked him out in 2 rounds, dropping him in the first, the second, then finishing him. How did Daniel Dubois knock out Joshua? He pressured him. He overwhelmed him with shots. Does Jake Paul even have the courage to do that? And if he is, Joshua has a 7-inch reach advantage. He's 6 inches taller, which that's if Jake is actually 6'1". I don't think so. Google's telling me. Jake will have multiple disadvantages on top of just the experience of AJ. I mean, he's an Olympic gold medalist. Regardless of his last couple performances, 28 wins, 25 knockouts, lost to Ruiz, got that win back. And I don't think there's any shame in losing to Usyk in the way he did. I thought he made the fights somewhat competitive, and Usyk's going down as an all-time great. And against Dubois, I just think he had a really bad night. I think once he got clipped with that first shot, his legs went and he just wasn't the same. But Jake Paul ain't doing that. He looks fat as hell at heavyweight. Even if he tried, I think he would gasp before the midpoint, and nobody he has fought other than Tommy Fury, who he lost to, has really given him much competition. I mean, maybe Anderson Silva, and what Jake was getting hit with then is going to be completely different now. He's not the one making people go up in weight. He is now going up in weight to face an actual legitimate heavyweight who has knocked out other heavyweights at the top level. I give Jake credit. He's absolutely insane, considering he almost got knocked out by Tyron Woodley and said that the hardest punch he ever took was from Tommy Fury.
What's the hardest you ever been hit? By who?
Probably Tommy Fury with an uppercut.
And were you dazed or?
Yeah, I couldn't see shit.
If you're feeling that against him, he's gonna fuck you up. And I get it, boxing's a business, it's all about money, but health does matter. And not saying I care all that much about him, but you know, I have a heart. And what Eddie Hearn said was right at the end of that. Like, it gets to a point where this is a serious game. And Joshua has suffered the consequences of that, and many other fighters too. So yeah, if this actually happens, credit to Jake. I feel like, if anything, Joshua should get more hate for this. I mean, you're a two-time former world champion. You could still compete with guys in the top 10. Why fight or give any attention to this guy? It was the same thing with the Gervonta Davis fight. Everyone was going at Jake. It's like, Tank, he still has Shakur, he still has Lamont Roach. Why are y'all going off at him? These are the professionals who were originally criticizing him for starting this circus, and now they're trying to be a part of it. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment. Make sure to give me your thoughts down below. God bless you all, and I'll see you in the next one.